Welcome everybody to our final pathway session this week. So glad to have you guys. You guys are the brave, good ones getting in this marketing session, because I think you won't be disappointed with what you're going to hear about the role marketing plays at a local TV station. Lots of great career opportunities. We want to thank John Casson at CSB Media Arts Center, who's with us now, and he'll be talking to you at the end about how to apply and receive the scholarship to the CBS Media Arts Center here at the Charlotte campus. And of course, we want to thank the Charlotte Association of Black Journalists for also being a partner with us on this. So today you have myself, Joan Barrett. I'm the President and General Manager here at WCNC Charlotte. Lauren Beckerly is going to, you heard from her this morning if you were on, our Digital Sales Manager, and she is going to be facilitating our Q&A section a little later. And then with us, you've seen Stephanie all week, and Rob Dwyer is also with us, our Director of Marketing at WCNC. So I am going to throw it to Stephanie to tell you a little bit about herself. You've seen her all week, and now you can hear about her path.
Hey guys, I am Stephanie Mackey. I'm the brand manager here at WCNC Charlotte, and you'll get to find out a little bit more about what I do coming up, but I do work as a part of the marketing team. Before I started working at the station, coming right out of college, I went to Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, Florida. I was a broadcast journalism major, and I was in love with radio. I did work at our campus TV station, but I fell in love working at the radio station, and I did that for about 10 years. So that was my first career. I was an on-air personality, as well as a morning show producer for a nationally syndicated talk show. I was like the local producer that would break in and do the news and weather and all that great stuff. And then it was actually a natural fit, which I'm hoping some of you will kind of get that today, to transition into marketing. The time I was in radio, a lot of radio stations were kind of starting to flip. And if you know anything about working in radio, that can happen at any time. They can just decide to flip your station to another format, or, you know, lots of changes can happen. And I was kind of looking to do something else. And because I had a lot of connections in the community, I loved talking copy, writing copy. It was kind of a natural fit to transition. And so I transitioned into an ad agency, worked my way to work for a big brand that you guys might know of as McDonald's. I did some brand and marketing work for there, and then led me here to WCNC Charlotte. So looking forward to talking to you guys and telling you all about what we do here on the marketing team. And I'll turn it over to my boss, Rob Dwyer, the marketing director.
Hello, everyone. Again, Rob Dwyer, marketing director here at WCNC Charlotte. A little bit about myself. I basically, everything you're going to hear about today, I have done in my career. I started off as a shooter editor, marketing producer, supporting clients, to pushing programming, getting people to watch, creating social media, you name it. It's kind of been in my role. So I've always loved being creative. I always loved television, and that's why I wound up in the field that I am. And if you're in the same feel the same way, this could be a great career for you as well. Marketing at a television station. Think of it more as actually the advertising agency for the television station, because we really support two main clients. One is we have a sales side, and that's commercial production. Again, that's across digital space, traditional television. That could be from spots, that could be from posts, that could be from display ads, anything that you would see on your phone or on your computer. The other one is programming. We support storytellers. We are storytellers at this point as well. We support local news, of course, which is important to us, but NBC, their primetime programming to their sports, as well as other programming like Judge Judy and other syndicated projects which you see. So we handle building graphics, creating video, again, handling any social digital needs to sit there and get people to watch and consume. This is a little bit of what we see. This is a product that we built. We have a brand called Where's the Money, we're really proud of. It's really helped a lot of people sit there and actually have put money back in their pockets by reaching out to us and us getting out there and helping. And this is how we market that product to get people to know about it.
Unemployment, stimulus, business loans. If you need help, WCNC Charlotte is here.
There's my answer and there's my money.
The difference? We don't stop until we put money back in your pocket.
It was like winning the lottery.
Text us, email, experience the difference. Where's the money? WCNC Charlotte.
So as a creative person, I love this because this is something where you get to go out and you get to shoot video, you get to write copy for this. You get to collaborate. If you love to collaborate, it's really key. We worked with our friends in news to sit there and come up with the idea. How have we been performing? So we put the correct message out there for our consumers. It's a great product. And then what the results are, one thing great about us being part of marketing at a local media station or television station is you get to see the results. You get to see people contribute. You get to see the, in this case, actually getting money back for people and seeing how many people actually come and consume the product.
And now this is another way, we create and promote our content on social media. So we have marketing producers that are social focused as well. And so this is something that you might see. This was yesterday's Instagram stories and basically just highlighting the top stories of the day. And of course, we're using graphics and video to catch your attention so that you might swipe up and come to us and read our stories. And then we also have a brand called Verify. You think about those viral questions. Is that true? And you're questioning things and stuff sounds crazy and you're like, I don't know. Well, this is our brand Verify, and this is a Tegna brand. And so we do promote this as well. We have a lot of times Facebook Lives where we go on and we talk about this. We have our Verify reporter. And so this is us promoting Verify on Facebook as well. So, all of the news, now when you're watching the news and we transition to another hour of news, or it's 6:30 and we're transitioning into network programming, you might see something like this. This is what we call a stinger, but think about all of the graphics that you might see during a newscast. Our team is responsible of creating that as well. This is that stinger I'm telling you about. So the visuals, we gather the logos, we put the music in there. So we are responsible for all of that, as well as when we're out in the community, Rob.
Yeah, in the community, it's a big part of supporting a local media product, is being out in the community and also making sure we're well branded. As you can see from these photos, from tents to jackets to the product, everybody knows it's WCNC out in their community making a difference. And that's a huge part to sit there, also see the impact you can do from either feeding folks to sit there helping clothing folks. And this is how we sit there and grow our brand in the community. Different roles. And again, I talked earlier about a lot of things that I did in my career. I've been at least part or some of these throughout the years I've worked. So marketing director, that's what I do right now. It's really responsible for developing the overall thinking and strategy to get people to consume our station. And again, that's from stuff we do on air, spots, to internal content inside the newscast, to social media, to digital products. I'm kind of looking over the overall picture to make sure we're moving the direction and it's in the brand that we want it to be. Art director, if you're really into graphics, motion graphics, Adobe products, that is a position for you. That person's not only creating a visual impact, but they're also guiding everybody on actually the correct style and feel for what we should be putting out there visually. Brand manager, Stephanie's capacity, really kind of that top brand cop, making sure that we're using the right logos, the right language. Are we on correct pace? Are we doing the things we need to do so people recognize us and for who we are? Marketing producers, I was a marketing producer for a long time, one of my favorite positions I've ever held, because you really get to be creative on a daily basis. You're the ones making the spots. You're the ones making the social media. You're shooting with talent. You're writing copy. You're also still creating graphics. That's a big part of the role, no matter what you do, and contributing across the whole platform and even getting out in the community and shaking people's hands and being part of our efforts.
A big piece, we can't do it by ourselves, right? So we have a partnership. We call it, in Tegna land, we say we are a one content team, marketing partners with our news folks, our digital folks. We make sure that everyone on our team understands what our brand is, our language, our messaging, so that they can weave that into their decision making. So we sit in on editorial meetings. We have to know what's going on. We have to know what the plan is for each newscast so that we know how to promote it. We're very involved in all of the content brainstorm sessions. So if we're having a special, a town hall where we have one of our anchors as the host with subject matter experts, we need to be a part of that planning so that we can market it and promote it to our viewers. And then we also consume a lot of our own product. And not just to give critiques, we all kind of do that. We do newscast reviews, and you know, we're always trying to find how we can do better and how we can reach more people. So we consume it as someone who likes to watch news and as a marketer to say, okay, let's do it this way this time, or hey, this is really working for us. Let's continue on this path. Same thing with news, we partner with digital. So if we have a new digital product launching, if we're doing an upgrade on our mobile app or making changes to our website and we want folks to come visit us, we always want people to come visit us. If we're promoting our podcast, we have a number of podcasts that we do here at our station. We're partnering with our digital teams to do that. And you guys heard from Lauren and Rick earlier this morning. We partner with our sales team all the time and find ways to really help our clients, our local businesses. So we are really, lots of teamwork that goes on here at the station. So I have a pop quiz for you guys, and I want you to type the answer in the chat. You know, we talk about working with Lauren and Rick over in sales and you know, working with our clients to make, you know, folks want to come to their business. So how do we do that? We brainstorm, we say, okay, we've got to really catch the attention of folks. And we kind of go about that with all of our products and what we're doing. So the average consumer's attention span is how many seconds? Type it in the chat.
All right, we're starting to get some answers here. We've got 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 0.06 seconds, 10 seconds, another 10.
All right, very close. So we
15.
have 8 seconds. 8 seconds to capture that attention. And that's just like a little insider information there. But when we are, you know, producing our spots and looking at them and saying, is this going to catch someone's attention? We have 8 seconds to do that. And then how do we know who we're talking to, how we can talk to folks? It's all about the research, right, Rob?
That's right. And this is, if you like math, if you like data, it's a big part about being a marketer and a creative person as well. We really look at Nielsen research, Google Analytics, CrowdTangle, to sit there and track who's coming in, how well have we held them, and where can we find new people. It's a big part of what we do. It's actually a critical part of what we do. So it's a different angle you can think of if you're interested in marketing and the creative impact for a station is actually the data part, to sit there and track who is actually consuming your product.
So we're going to give you a look. This was one of Rob's favorite roles, and the marketing producer makes up a lot of our team. So we're going to kind of give you a look at what a marketing producer's job looks like.
Hey, what's up? My name's Trey Maggio, and I am a marketing producer here at WCNC Charlotte. I just want to show you a little bit about what I do and give you a sense of my job.
A SWAT team damaged a woman's home after she gave them the keys to get in. The heat is really going to crank up across the Carolinas.
Recovering from the coronavirus, some online claiming your chances are good, so I get the vaccine.
Police hid key evidence in his case, but he spent 44 years behind bars. How Mecklenburg County is spending your money. The budget plan for the upcoming school year is out.
This is going to cause damage to trees, power lines, roofs.
There have been some ponding and puddling on the roads.
We're hearing from those seeking solutions for students who have fallen behind.
Stick with us on WCNC Charlotte at 11.
So the first part of my day comes down to organization. I always get on the computer and check email. We have what we call Teams. We have a program called Slack. Basically a bunch of programs to help communicate and keep things organized within the process of getting everything done. I talk to reporters, managers, news director, marketing directors, all sorts of different people throughout the day. So organization and communication is key in this job, and making sure you're on the right page with everyone is very vital. Otherwise, the whole thing gets thrown off. So I end up going to a lot of meetings. We do a lot of Zoom calls, we do a lot of Teams calls, and it's basically to figure out what is the best stuff that we have that we can promote to get people to stay and watch our 11 p.m. newscast. Being a nightside guy, I really focus on that 11 p.m. From there, I go into writing scripts, 15-second spots usually, sometimes 30-second spots, depending on the topic. After I have the script ready, then I send it back to some of the managers back at the station to make sure it's approved and it's on the same level as what they're thinking. And they'll end up taping it about 8 o'clock at night is usually the time frame of when they're taping some of the topical stuff. And then they'll send it back to me down here. I'll take that clip and combine it with a bunch of B-roll shots, music. I'll spice it up as best I can to really make it something attractive on TV that grabs your attention and pulls you into the 11 o'clock newscast. Other marketing producers do this for other shows throughout the day, just depending on your assignment. Another part of my job is I help with branding image stuff here at the station. So one of the recent things I did was a new Verify commercial. I got to work with Vanessa Rufus and a great team here at WCNC Charlotte to put this together. Here's what it looked like if you just want to see a quick clip.
Now you have the power to tell the difference between real and fake, and WCNC Charlotte is here to help. It could be a post on Facebook or Instagram, or something that just doesn't feel right.
We can verify that, yes.
Our team finds experts, digs up sources, and uncovers the answers to your questions. And if we can't verify, you'll know that too.
This is false.
Before you click share, get that social media claim verified and see the difference Verify makes in the news you watch. Only on WCNC Charlotte.
So really, that's a very quick explanation of what I do. There's a lot of little things that kind of go on throughout the day that you just kind of keep on top of. People have questions, you want to help out, answers. Emails come through of things that you might just be able to help. And it's really just one of the games where you're just trying to be a team player throughout the day. I'd say one of the best benefits of this job is you really do get to be creative. You get a level of control when it comes down to your spots, what you want to produce, and you get to have fun with it. You know, you get to choose the music, you get to really amp up the way things look. And at the end of the day, it's your commercial that's on TV, and that's what people see. So you get to take a little pride in that, which is fun. I hope you learned something. I hope you're excited to join the TV industry and journalism itself. And hope to work with you one day. Thanks.
From highs in the 70s, then back to freezing. The weather this year has been crazy.
It changes fast. That's why we're here, just for you.
Stay ahead of the change with us, your source for the highs and the lows.
We're first to alert you when conditions get dangerous, which we all know needs to be taken seriously.
With what to expect when you wake up.
And what to expect when you go to bed. No matter what Mother Nature throws at you,
we've got you covered.
Only on WCNC Charlotte.
That is still one of my favorite spots that Trey produced. I love that spot. Rob, I'll throw it to you.
Thinking about, education and what you need to do to sit there and be in the industry. Like I say, consuming the product is important. If you love news, you like local news, it's important. And again, I will sit there and say that doesn't necessarily always be on TV. That could be on apps. That could be on .com. You get involved in your school, university. Certain skills, Adobe products, Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere, just industry standard now to sit there and know and be able to use. Internships, freelance opportunities, and like I say, different degrees. I actually have a degree in television production. That's my degree. But from journalism, communication, multimedia design, production are all things that you should be looking at to sit there and move into the industry.
Yeah, and going back to the tools, even if you have to start out with the free version, we actually use Canva here. I know it's listed there. We use Canva here. We use, and Canva, you can get the free version and just kind of start practicing if you haven't already. So there are a lot, even the apps that are on your iPhone, you know, start with that. A lot of them are transferable, you know, and it's a good place to start. And I guess we can take some questions.
So this area, right? A lot of times people go to school majoring in marketing or advertising. They know they want to do something in that creative field. And so they get those degrees. Sometimes you'll have people who start as journalists and then meander over to marketing because, you know, as journalists, you have to write teases, learn how to sell your story, you know, in promos, stand-ups, work with the marketing department. I think I told you, right? The managing editor that kind of is the #2 in the newsroom in Greensboro just became the marketing director at our sister station in Greensboro. And then sometimes these are the folks that think they want to be screenwriters or movie directors or have that real creative bent. And let's face it, it's hard to become a screenwriter and movie director. And so they take that creativity and they channel it into the marketing department at the TV station. Some of the folks might cross from advertising agencies like Stephanie did. They'll go back and forth in that area too.
Yeah, and if you are looking around, sometimes you might hear, like if you were looking for a job in TV, the department might be called Creative Services. So sometimes the names vary. For Tegna, we are the marketing department.
Great,
but
great
just want to
point,
throw
though.
that out there that you might see Creative Services. That's basically the same thing.
Great point. All right, guys, you've been asking great questions all week. There's one.
All right, so first question is, when learning to use Adobe, how do you suggest we get started? Should we take a class or just experiment on our own?
I think you can do both. One, there is fantastic coursework or instructional videos that you can just find on YouTube. And there are some really great people out there that could show you how to do some very sophisticated things. A class is always great because it accelerates you very quickly. And help you understand, kind of work within the parameters. Like if I'm building something for TV, making sure I'm on time, pace, if I'm doing something for social media, again, formatting. But I mean, if you can dabble and get on YouTube, you can learn a lot.
Yeah, I believe one of our marketing producers, and she's our social focused marketing producer. When she went to college, she actually had a class that went through the Adobe products, and they did a lot of learning there.
All right, Shayla asks, what is the easiest platform to learn?
I think Stephanie alluded to Canva. Canva is really a platform that's built for the masses. So it's really great to sit there and build social media content. It allows you to be format friendly for IG, Facebook, you name it. It's an easy one to sit there and migrate creative in, build templates, so forth and so on. I think you move into the Adobe products. To be honest with you, I think actually the editing tools, and I'm probably that's where it was easy for me, at least on the video side, but learning Photoshop would probably be second to that. And that's kind of the core of it. But Canva is a great starting point.
Yeah.
Are any of you thinking about marketing careers or going into this kind of area?
Like graphic design. I will say, don't close yourself off. If you had asked me, you know, I wanted to be in radio forever. We all know how things kind of are turning out to be, right? Most people stream their music or listen to podcasts, and radio is still there, but it's not as popular as it used to be. And, you know, everything that you experience, if you get an opportunity, take it and just add that to your bank of knowledge and experience, because trust me, you will have full circle moments. I used to be the person on air reading the sponsor liners and reading that copy. And now I'm on a team that writes it and really kind of gets to jazz things up. So, and I love that behind the scenes feel. But having that from back in the day, that experience, it really came full circle for me.
And also, we haven't seen it as much because we haven't had that many digital jobs until more recently, but I think you're going to see crossover between digital and marketing too, right? Somebody who's a digital producer may end up as a marketing producer or even vice versa, because there's a lot of shared skill sets there and expertise.
And I will say this, the TV industry is also changing a lot. I know when Rob was looking for somebody for this position, one of the things that he said to me was that you were attractive because you weren't already working in TV. You had, something different to bring to the table. I had done brand work on McDonald's, both on the ad agency side, and I worked for corporate McDonald's, and doing their events and things like that. So it made me have something different to bring to the table, a brand perspective that wasn't TV. So that's why I say, take all of the experiences. You never know how they're going to come into play later.
Absolutely. So a couple more things in the chat. Julie says, I've been applying to a lot of communications and marketing internships, which absolutely to Stephanie's point, try it, do it, try everything, because every experience that you're going to have is going to just continue to contribute to your career. And then Stephanie also, Julie asks you, how did you brand yourself before coming to WCNC?
That's a good question. Never been asked that before. Honestly, I didn't. You become what you have in your knowledge bank, right? The experiences that you have, and that's how you brand yourself. Just know that that first or even second or third job that you take coming out of college, you don't have to stay there forever. So I was able to put, I was a radio personality, so that's a big communicator, right? Worked on brand and marketing for a global brand. So I'm able to take those experiences and brand myself because of the experience that I have. I hope that answers your question. So take all of it, even if it sounds like something you do not want to do, try it out. You would be surprised.
Perfect. Next question comes from Shayla, and Rob, I think this will be a good one for you. When it comes to getting a job as a graphic designer in digital marketing, would your portfolio be sort of like a reporter reel? And what sort of things would you put in it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the tricky thing is if you haven't worked in the industry yet and you don't have, jobs to show, it's okay to go out there and show your skill set if it's from classroom work, or if you go out there and you see things you really like that either was on social media, you saw on YouTube, or you saw on broadcast, something that's a motion graphic, even stills, and showing that you could replicate that is really important. The thing about a graphic designer now is they touch everything. So I would say, if you can make sure you can format for IG, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, can you sit there and put something video for television, or can you sit there and do something for print? Showing those kind of each individual little assets shows that you have a mind for diversity and how to use the tools to sit there and create that.
You guys have been great, and I hope it's been a good week. I hope you opened your eyes to a lot of great different careers that are a pathway and a great career at a local television station that you may not have thought of, that's right there in your own hometown, your home state, communities, or even somewhere else you want to live, because local TV stations are all over the country. So what I know some of you are waiting for is we want to hear from John. And he is going to talk to us about CSB Media Arts Center a little bit and about the scholarship.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Boy, what a fun and informational session. I think the stuff that you guys have covered over the last 4 days, the 8 sessions, are questions that when I was a reporter, I used to get every single day. I don't think I've ever covered a story. It could be a murder, it could be anything. And these people will walk up to you and say, how do you get into business? Or how do you become a camera guy? Or where did you get your start? Or any of those things. And man, if there was something like this, we could have just said, just watch this and that will give you the start. What a phenomenal. And then having access to the general manager and investigative reporters and some of this, all the superstars I heard on the assignment desk and everything. I mean, thank you guys. What a treat this is. So thank you for having me. CSB Media Arts Center has been around since 1964. I'm a grad of the school from 1995, and I worked as an assignment manager, a reporter, a producer, filled in for executive producer, a ton of roles within the newsroom. A lot of the stuff actually that we talked about in the last few days. And TV is truly, truly fun, and it's truly work. It's both. It's a lifestyle. I know some people ask what the schedule is like, and when that person asked that question, I kind of laughed because you work your schedule, but you wake up in the morning and you watch the news, and you go to bed at night, and before you do, you read or watch the news. And to this day, I haven't been in television in 16 years, and to this day, probably about once an hour, I'll click on WCNC or New York Times or something. It's a habit that it's like the way some people are into sports or something. It's incredible. So if this is you, if you're into that, this isn't a career for people who think they might want to do it. This is a career for people who don't think they want to do anything else. It really, really is. It's a fun career. It's a fun shop. A lot of people ask about education. Education is important. Education comes from a lot of sources. You don't need to necessarily go to my school or a traditional college. It's very helpful to do those things. It'll certainly give you a jump start. But at the end of the day, technology is really inexpensive. Probably all of you or almost all of you have cameras on your phone. There's no law that says you can't go out and shoot a news package. See how it's done and mimic the professionals that are doing out in the field. Go cover the Memorial Day celebration, something easy, and then work your way up from there. And it really is a lot of fun. Okay, scholarship information. So we have a lot of scholarship money. We didn't have a class last year, and that scholarship money just kept getting pushed forward. And we had a half class because of COVID restrictions in July and November. So all that scholarship money got pushed into this summer term. So there is a minimum of $1,000 scholarship available for anybody who takes, who's been watching these courses. If you missed a couple, just watch the ones that were recorded and you're fine. And it goes up from there. Certainly, if you have college background, you get scholarship money for your college background. If you have any industry experience, there's scholarship money for that. So there's a potential to get up to $5,000 depending on what your background is and where your passion is and what you want to do. So in order to be eligible for the scholarships, just look at your screen there. It says scholarships at gocsb.com. That goes right to the scholarship committee. Just express your interest in it. If you haven't already checked out our school, gocsb.com is the website for it. We have several campuses. We have one here in Charlotte that's about 5 minutes away from WCNC. What the process is, we don't have an admissions department or anything. We're not a kind of school that tries to push people in, but we take 9 students every term, and we ask people, if you're interested in the program and you're interested in the industry, come take a tour of the school, see if you like it. And if you do, we'd be happy to have a conversation and see where that takes you. We try not to turn people away for financial reasons. But at the end of the day, do what it takes. Most of our students, you've seen a couple of them actually here, or certainly one, Ashley Stroline, grad of our school from 2012. I met Ashley. She was a high school math teacher in Statesville. And the irony is, a couple classes later, one of her students came in and went on to become a television reporter as well. It all starts with just starting, frankly, just taking that first step, surrounding yourself with people who are in that industry. It's not easy, but it's a lot less difficult than sometimes people believe. And sometimes the number one thing I hear a lot from college grads who come to me is nobody's hiring. And my response to them always is, nobody's hiring you, which is not mean. It just means that you probably don't have a portfolio yet that is there. No one is particularly concerned about your 4.0 GPA, but a 4.0 GPA should translate into really good writing skills. And then you need to execute those skills and show them that you can do it. If you can shoot and edit, and all you have is your one package you did in college, there's nothing that limits you from doing 10 more, because if you submit your first, by definition, you're submitting your worst, and you're competing against people who are doing this for a living, especially if you want to try and start in a market this size. So our school tries to, help you with that. You'll do a lot of packages. It's a very fast-paced course. It goes by in 16 weeks. Classes 2 days a week. You're going to probably be on campus 4 or 5 days a week and collaborate with them. If you do make it through the program and graduate from CSB Media Arts Center, 100% of our graduates will graduate with a job in the business or the ability to use our resources until they do. And that's a pretty big promise. And that's what attracted me to the school when I went there. So would love to hear from any of you guys. Again, feel free to give us a call or just go on to scholarships at gocsb.com and we'll start the conversation and go from there.
Do you guys have any?
I did put it in the chat, but I'm missing that S, scholarships. Sorry about that.
Do you guys have any questions for John while he's here? Well, I would highly suggest, if you're even thinking about it, go ahead and email that email so that you're on their radar and on their list for having participated in the Pathways program this week. I think John will honor it for a period of time, so it doesn't have to be next week. And, there's the question from Shayla. If you apply for the scholarship, would you have to use it in the 21-22 academic year, John?
Those scholarships are based on merit and need. And so the short answer is no, but scholarship amounts vary. I've never seen so much scholarship money in a single semester as I have for this July term, but it's because last year we had to cancel the classes and we took all the scholarship money and pushed it into this year. But there's always some scholarship money available. Typically they look for people who have a background in journalism communications. That background could be college. That background could be working in the industry. As some of these people mentioned, there's been a great, there's been a shift a little bit to go from one department to another. We placed a lot of assignment editors. In fact, I was a managing editor at a station, and whenever I needed an associate producer or an assignment editor, I would teach a class and poach the students, and it was a good way of doing it. But no, the short answer is, you're certainly welcome to, if you get a scholarship, the scholarship's going to be good for the next term, but you don't necessarily have to. There's no rush to get in. Income if you can't come till next year. Can you go to traditional college and here at the same time? You can. I will say, if you're super organized, like an assignment editor, yeah, you might be okay. But it's the same thing. A lot of people ask, can you work a full-time job and come to school here? Yeah, you can. The bottom line is, it's a certificate program. If you come to school, you do your assignments and you complete your portfolio, you'll graduate. But the goal isn't to complete the class. I hate to admit this, but no one cares if you went to my school, but everybody cares about your portfolio. And if your portfolio looks good, that's what's going to get you the job. And the way for your portfolio to look good is to spend time, and energy into it. And if you're working at a second job or third job and you're, 50 hours a week and trying to go to school, or you're going to college full time and you're trying to go to our school as well, some people can do it, but it's a challenge. And I'm gonna go back to Ashley. When she was a student, she taught high school math during the day. She went to our school at night, and then she would she had some kind of a weekend job, and we used to be out at the epicenter doing newscasts out at the epicenter, and she would find a way to get over there sometimes at 10, 11 o'clock at night and help us do stories. And she was just dead set on becoming a sports reporter. And she interned at another station across town, where she interned as a sports reporter, and she interned under the sports reporter, who's also a grad of our school, who went on to become a sports reporter for the Panthers. So she didn't quit. She did put in the hours, and that's what it took. And it was good. It was nice to see. And Babe Ruth just say it's hard to beat a guy who never quits. And that's the key, guys. Those of you who are in college, some of you might be feeling a little disappointed if you're sending out resumes and you're not getting responses. If you stop trying, you're not going to suddenly get responses. Just keep doing it. And if you're not getting any response or negative responses, really take a look at your portfolio and see why. But maybe it needs to be a little better. Maybe it needs to be a little crisper or clearer. Maybe you have a spelling error on your resume and you're applying for a producer job. Look for those things. And if you want to come in and talk to me too, even if you don't plan on coming to our school, I love talking the business. I love helping students. I've been teaching here for 26 years. Feel free to drop on by. I'm be more than happy to talk to you, give a look over your portfolio, your resume, and see where I can help out if I can.
It's a great offer from someone who's been in the business, now helping to teach, to mentor, give you some feedback. That's a great offer. So take him up on that. John, there's a question. So if I only attended 6 sessions in person, could I still be eligible for the scholarship?
Yeah, just watch the other two when it comes on the recording.
And so if you're still in high school, are you eligible?
Yeah, I will say the program is you don't have to be a college grad, and there's been plenty of students who've come through and killed it. But you do need to be able to read, write, speak, and communicate at a college level. And there are some other schools too you could go to if you're not sure. If you're English, somebody mentioned math. Math is my worst subject by far. In fact, I'm in a business aspect now, and that's the one part I try to. But I will say, if you can, if you flunked out of math, I don't care. But if you struggle with high school level English, you're going to struggle here, because we can teach you to read, write, and speak for news, but we can't teach you to read, write, and speak in general. It's just too fast of a program. So if you can already do it at a college level, I'd love to have you apply. If you can't, that's not a big deal. Just go to a community college, take and pass a college level English course. And again, really truly have a passion for journalism. I can't say enough. A lot of times people come here, and the first question I'll ask in the interview is, why do you want to be a news reporter? And a lot of people will say, I want to be on TV. And that's a good reason, but there's a lot of ways to be on TV too. You could be a homicidal maniac and make it on the news. but more specifically, if you truly like to help people thrive, if you truly like to investigate, if you're intellectually curious, if you like reading about things, if you're sitting down in a train station and other people are looking at their phones and you're studying other people, or wondering why they put that sign over there, or what's with these tracks over here, if you're that kind of person and that's in your head, and you almost have this ADD and this incessant inability to not be inquisitive and get to know people, if that's you, you'll be a great candidate for our school. If that's not you, you're going to struggle, because you're going to feel like you're always working at something, and it is work, but it's a lot of fun. So yeah, can you be in high school still? Sure, you can't be a student when you're in high school, but when you graduate, you could be. Just make sure, again, you have a college level English skill set, acumen. And I'll add one more thing to that too. If you're unemployed, if you're in high school and you're getting ready to graduate, and you've never had a job, you never volunteer or anything like that too, I won't be able to get you into a school right away, but that you can solve that easily, especially in today's economy, by literally getting a job somewhere, doing something, and being consistent about it. Because one of the things we look for is a track record of success, and that success can be at McDonald's, right? That success can be anywhere. But if you can work 6 months at McDonald's and never miss a day of work, then I know you're not going to miss it here, because our classes are they're courses, and each course is almost 4 hours. If you miss even one, it's like going to a community college and missing 4 classes in a row, and they all kind of waterfall into one another. So if you didn't learn how to speak properly, and the next class is editing, you're going to edit what you spoke, but you didn't speak yet because you missed the class, and you get the point. So it really comes down to being committed, just really committed to the program. The program is a bargain or a ripoff, depending on what you do with it. If you really want to get into business and put your portfolio together, you'll love it. But if you graduate and you decide this isn't for you, then you wasted your time and your money, and of course we wasted our seat. And again, in our case, there's only nine students, so we just want to make sure everyone who gets in, gets through, gets out, and gets work.
Awesome. It's a great deal. So thank you, John. We appreciate all your insight and knowledge as well. You guys know that he's offering to help or look at your reel or give you some feedback. So when somebody's offering that, who's been in the industry and working in it, really valuable. So thank you, John, and send that email, even if you're not quite sure, because you want to get on John's radar and on the list that you participated in this. So thank you to CSB Media Arts Center and also the Charlotte Area Association of Black Journalists for partnering with us. I want to thank my team. Thanks, Rob and Stephanie and Lauren and all the trainers. You guys did a terrific job. And we will be posting all of this. We'll email all of you guys as soon as we get them all edited and pretty. We have your email addresses, and we'll send you the link when they all get posted on our page. But it'll be on that Pathways page. You can Google WCNC and Pathways, and I'll take you right to it when it's up. And don't forget about that producer in residence program too. That'll be opening up this October as well. Okay, with that, we're going to wrap the week up.